Hi folks, how are you? We are playing in Shaq's Twilight Struggle League. I'm opening 442 because I don't have socialist governments. Playing Janusz Schultz. He's unfortunately playing his USSR, which is his strong suit. So 442, yeah, cool. I won't start with Purge because I want to keep a decent hand for counter-coupping. So the obvious headline, therefore, is Captured Nazi Scientist. So let's open with that and see what he leads with. He's going to try and clear me out the Middle East. He's made half of the battle. So all the more reason to try and get the last strong coup on Iran. He goes in with de Gaulle. Okay, so he is making serious inroads into my ability to be in the Middle East. But we will take the counter-coup on Iran. Right back at ya. So he gets the last coup, and we are absolutely praying to be holding on by a thread. And we do. So we get the benefit of that exchange, and NORAD is active. Yes, unfortunately. So we'll put 3 into Pakistan. I know that means if he blockades me, I have to ditch B-style. So I'll take Thailand with Indo-Pakistani war. One into Egypt, yeah, that's fine. I missed. So AR6, since I've used Captured Nazi, I'm going to overprotect Thailand and overprotect Iran to try and dissuade a strong coup. Let's see what happens. Obvious headline, I guess, is defectors. I can event Suez neutrally. I've got no way of dropping DEFCON. So let's use defectors. Doesn't really matter. he'll go for the Middle East coup, and I have to hope I'm strong enough to play back in. God, and he gets it with NATO. Okay. Thank goodness I put the extra influence in. I mean, blockade is still a risk, so fanning around with Suez is not without its risks. What do I think? What do I think? Let's pop Iran to level up the Middle East and take Afghanistan. So I can use East European unrest to take Saudi if he doesn't immediately take it now. But the Middle East was always going to be tough after that opening exchange. Well, that's unfortunate, but we'll clear him out of adjacency to Italy. Take Saudi. I think with Fidel, I'm going to pop 2 into Canada for NORAD. Although he's telegraphing he's got Middle East scoring. So let's pop Iraq again, just long enough so that if he runs out of road. Okay, let's plan B this. Oh no, wait, I want to keep hold of... Alas. Prevent Suez, then take 2 out the UK to start. And we're going to work on the assumption he's holding Middle East scoring. He does not. But he at least uses blockade, which is something. I draw Europe scoring and de Gaulle, which is nice. Let's work out what he's got. He's got Middle Eastern scoring. He's got duck and cover. I have socialist governments. I believe he's got Comecon unless I missed him use it in turn 1. Truman's out. He's got Marshall Plan, which he won't want to use if he can avoid it. He's got Containment, which he'll use AR6. I'm holding Decol, UN Intervention. I've got D-Style. I've got Special Relationship. So Middle East scoring, duck and cover, Comic-Con, martial containment. I think he's got most of those. Obvious headline is defectors, which we'll go with again. And it also defects his domination, which is unlucky for him. He didn't know I held it. So he'll probably get the coup off on Panama. And it's a decent coup for him. Well done. Where do I wish for an op? Middle East scoring's gone. That puts him on the defensive. A lot of red cards. How best to use them? If he's got blockade, I'll be able to ditch one anyway. I'm looking to space decoll. It's just about whether or not I trigger the goal before or after. Making it 3-1's risky because it prompts an ops war. Let's put the ops into France and go for Europe domination. UNing D style is fine, you knew I had it. And I'm prepared to chuck the Gaulle or socialist governments to blockade. Just as long as he doesn't get fancy and purge me mid-turn. Okay, so he starts the ops war. We'll see how long he can keep it up. Problem is he knows I'm scoring it. But does he know how ops light I am? Because socialist governments and de Gaulle both cause havoc in Europe. He may be sizing up using Marshall Plan to tap a battleground, but that seems kind of not great from his POV. And you won't want to give up the China card hastily, especially not to be space stuck in cover. If he does blockade me, he gets AR6, of course, because I've already used you an intervention on D-Star. I guess he must just be cogitating how much damage to try and do in Europe, or if he's going to take the opportunity to do other things. Problem is, if he pushes into Colombia and stuff like that, my hand is sufficiently mouldy that I can't do a lot about it. I can only hope he's chewing over a lot because he has drawn CIA along with stuck in cover, but we will see. The other problem going into turn 4 is that both Thailand and Italy are very vulnerable to brush war, and I'm not going to be able to do a lot about that this turn. So I have to hope I dodge brush war or survive a 50-50 chance in turn 4 if it comes up for him. Taking his time over this. I mean, he knows I've got Europe scoring, so he should take his time. He knows I've got socialist governments and decol. So he knows I've got a bit of a mouldy hand. He knows I've got 4 cards, and he knows it's SOCGov, Europe, and decol, so it's just what the other card is. If I was him, I would keep hammering away at Europe. But he may have other fish to fry as well. The problem with him using containment, obviously, is it gives me a bonus, and using Marshall gives me a bonus in Europe as well. So if he's got duck and cover, containment, and Marshall for 3 of his 5 cards, that's not so hot either. So he is going to hammer the China card. And there is not a lot I can do about that. So if I use socialist governments, he can use Marshall Plan to take Europe, or take France. And then I don't get the Marshall Plan bonus. If I use De Gaulle, we go to 4-4, and he uses the 3-op card to do it. So at this point, I have to abandon Europe scoring to 0. So his question now is, does he take it? And he will with Marshall Plan, yeah, fine. Yes, of course, and he also retakes South Korea. So at least I get Marshall Plan benefit everywhere else. space decol. It fails, so now I actually have to event de Gaulle, which is gross, and socialist governments, which is also gross. So with de Gaulle, I'm likely to take Taiwan. Just going to have to give up on Europe for a little while. So he'll be looking to space duck and cover here, I suspect. So, I don't know. Looking for a NATO special relationship combo on France. Or tear down this wall in turn 8. Let's protect Italy and Thailand against brush war for starters. So, I'd say USSR's going into brush war looking pretty good. Strong in Central America. I was lucky to get decol and D-style out the deck, but France is pretty much a goner. So he's overprotecting. Sensible. Let's event socialist governments, see whether he wants to go to 0-8 in France. So he's held duck and cover. That's if I've been counting correctly. Let's see. You took them out of the UK and Canada, right? Oh, Canada and West Germany, sorry. So, one in Canada. And we'll get domination in Asia. Africa, fine. Grain sales is the obvious card option. We can use Ask Not to lose Allende, but we may not want to. But grain sales is the best headline here, definitely. So we'll go with that. He's going for the 1 and 6 on Pakistan. Well, we're going to coup with it. And we don't do great, but we could have done worse. So I expect to see him play straight back into Algeria. We're going to use our 4-op card to take South Africa and Angola. Just to protect against South African unrest. That means I need to hold us not against blockade. Mustn't forget. Salting D-style. Classic. So the question is, do I not get cute and drop Africa for the single point? So you may be trying to ditch CIA, of course. Let's try and get fancy. Because I will get the last coup of the round in this case. And I'll use OAS to take Argentina or similar ASAP. Well, that's a strong coup. What do I need? I now need a 4, 5, or 6, really, to undo the damage. Using the China card is gross when... So do we change tack? Let's take another coup first, because that does drop DEFCON to 2 in case he's holding CIA. But now I expect to see him D-style. Oh, and I've just given him 3 extra influence to use with that. That was silly. Oh well. Think first. Let's put 1 in West Germany against Willy Brandt. So I expect to see D-style now. I can OAS, but then I could ask not Africa scoring. Because I expect to see him place into Zaire and Nigeria. Ah. Sure. Indo-Pakistani war's gone. So let's use that. Do I want to split that way? Let's ask not first. Okay, so CIN day go. I am definitely in 2 minds about this. Given Panama Canal returns, etc. Let's go with that first. The longer this goes on, the more likely I am to score Africa, space Portuguese Empire crumbles. Play us not on my last turn. Because it might be better to ditch Africa scoring and keep us not. We'll see. We should D-style this turn. If he doesn't claim Africa domination, it's a reason to ditch it for -2. Here it comes. Let's ditch Africa scoring, space Portuguese Empire, and use Allende now he's in Chile, and hold ask not for something even worse, like Central America scoring. Haha. So good work getting D-style back, making salt count for USSR. He spaces VOA. I space Portuguese. Neither of our astronauts are doing well. It's a big ask. And it fails. I wasn't sure what else I was going to do with that. Let's see what comes out. Asia scoring is good for me. ABM is good for me. There's not really a lot to blockade. Central America is not so good for me. But ABM seems like the obvious headline given missile MB's risk. And the obvious coup target is Central America. Holding blockade may be the best bet. Gross though it is to hold a 1-up card. Well, nice of him to leave me that. First things first. Perfect result. Can't counter coup. So now he's relying on liberation theory. He'll go for Argentina. So South America is looking very bad. Gonna have to accept his 10 points there. I will accept Central America domination as well. I think that probably means he's holding it, or he was just very anxious about the realignment. Arab-Israeli war is now, of course, not playable. Covers bin. So there's a question, over whether or not I use 5-year plan to trim his hand down. I'm not going to pull a DEFCON dropper. I might leave him with CIA. Worst case scenario, I pull CIA. It's all the reason to do it sooner. Okay, that's a bonus. So let's do 5-year plan now. And let's hope we don't pull CIA. Pull South America scoring, fine. Okay, 2 VPs. That does mean Cultural Revolution comes into play for him now. If he's got it, he's got to play it now to avoid CIA as well. So let's see what he does. If he's not holding Cultural Revolution and he's holding CIA, he's sunk. But I'm just clutching at straws there, because the Americas looks so awful. I mean, there's so many ways he can dodge that. He can bear trap himself, for example, or use Cultural Revolution. So it's a speculative thing. We're halfway through the mid-war. He may have been dealt it. He may not. Okay, well, that kind of answers the question to some extent. So let's play Asia scoring before he has a chance to mess it up. And if he hands me Cultural Revolution straight back, I would expect him to be holding CIA. That's a shame. Well, that's rubbish. I want Nicaragua. Not nice to give up Arsenal like that. Bit overprotecting. Let's tap Cuba and overprotect Mexico. Holding blockade, kind of gross. Not very happy about how this is going. Probably going to get dealt South America scoring. He didn't have CIA after all. I draw lone gunman. This is all going swimmingly. Okay, so brush wall to the headline. And we'll brush Venezuela. That's successful at least. So, the problem with my hand is that I either have to event blockade and clear myself out of West Germany, or I need to clear him out of Cuba quickly enough that I can event Cuban Missile Crisis and then headline lone gunman. Both of those things are gross. And to some extent, I can't afford to get mixed up in South America realignments. So, coupping Haiti and offering my own counter realignment threat in Central America is probably the best situation. This is totally disgusting. And that's also intensely gross. Let's get him out of Cuba. I hope. Ha! Right, let's try again. There he goes. Might as well take a gamble. That's not a bad gamble. I do need to event John Paul. No, let's do that now. Nicely done. He'll shore up Poland. Sensible thing to do. Warsaw Pact's not been out there, so he's got that to look forward to also. So I'll blockade Muslim Revolution AR6. No, I won't. He might coup me. I'd rather him missile MD me and clear me out with Muslim Revolution than quag my AR7 and leave me with lone gunman. Now I've got a way to ditch it. He gets off the mark in space. Well done, him. You should really be putting one in El Salvador. No, he's okay, cool. So I coup Guatemala. He doesn't know I needed to blockade just yet, but he'll see that in a second. Let's get rid of blockade. And we'll take the 2-1 realign gamble on Mexico, because why not? Ha! Live fast, die young. So, missile envy to try and steal something he's got. What have we not seen? I actually need to pay attention now. We haven't seen arms race go yet, or quagmire, or bear trap. I've got we will bury you, flower power. I've got puppet, not that it's much use now. I mean, Africa's gone in. We saw lads go. Shuttle dips in play. He's got liberation theory, so he can get back into Cuba that way. And Che. If I missile envy him and he's not got a 4-op card, he's going to be giving me arms race, which is a sodding waste of time. So what do we think? Duck and cover allows him to shore up Poland. Missile envy doesn't, and he might fancy a coup somewhere. So let's still go with missile envy. He's quagmired me. Savvy. So I expect to be handed arms race here. Well, okay. So he takes a coup to start, but doesn't quite get out. South African unrest first in the trap. So Eastern European went in 7. Nice. So he wanted arms race for the points, I suppose. Let's take Poland with flower power. And one in Cuba to stop liberation theory control. He'll take arms race for the VP. Yes, of course. Go Europe. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's ditch Central America for 3. Ah, yes. Neatly done by him. Let's get my Millops. Got Asia again, that's a bonus. So do I purge him? I've got the ops to purge him. Let's give it a go. So he's going realign happy this turn, but he'll have fewer ops to do it with. Yep, doesn't kick in. Nicely done. Let's level up the Middle East. But one in UK after the fact, because you never know about tear down this wall. +2. Score Asia next. AWACS just too soon. Yeah, Saudi's better because of the Iranian hostage crisis. Get Asia off before Middle East because of fiddle diplomacy. Let's see, don't want socialist government, definitely don't want Warsaw Pact. And Crush War's as risky to me as it is him. My Millops. Got 2 more coup cards. Space Decol. Tear down this wall would be a great card to have. Flower power's been cut off. We'll pop another 1 in Poland. And 1 in West Germany. That's something. Doing Cuba. And if he Aldriches me, I space the other. He's going big on realignments. And he gets there. So space decol. space has been a delight for both of us. Let's see what happens in turn 9. Middle East scoring's no good for me. I don't get war games. Terrorism's an option. Colonial rearguards I could event after the fact. OPEC's gross. So we'll start with terrorism, I guess. Okay. That's not a terrible result for me. Iran-Iraq war for the Middle East flip is attractive. Oh man, got Star Wars out the deck just in time. Let's go with Iran-Iraq war. Big 6. No, rubbish. So he's going to score Middle East and South America quite handsomely. I'll try and event colonial rearguards close to AR7 now that Africa scoring's gone. Oh, Junta as well, lovely. We can give him Iran. I'm looking for him to space first, really, so I can once more step in. I mean, he's a card short, but yeah, he's not here. Yes, of course he's got a space growing sales. But he fails. That's not ideal for me. Let's do that just to put him under some pressure in Africa, even though Africa's scoring's been. So I'll space OPEC. Will I? No, I'll space We Will Bury You. In case he Aldriches me. I may get 2 shots at space if I'm lucky. Okay, so I get to try with OPEC as well. So he has to trap himself. So now's the time to break Middle East domination. Splendid. Well, I'm going to do a lot. Well, he got out. Well done, him. Space OPEC. Don't get there. Tear down this wall does come, which is fairly big for me. The question is, do I defect him and tear down this wall later on? I think I do. I defect him first. Yep. Good. Let's ditch Pershing. We'll take one small, all the 2-op cards. Keep Indo-Pakistani War for potential mill-ops. So I get dealt war games. So spacing a card or Indo-Pakistani War succeeding is good as well. Not anymore. Okay, so good timing for reforming. Okay. Enough back and forth shenanigans then. Oh! Well, that's what happens when you're not paying attention right at the end of the game. Goodbye, VOA. You may still fear tear down this wall, but VOA is way more powerful. What a numpty. Oh well. Okay, so without VOA, I'm unlikely to swing things entirely. Tear down this wall might help, but might not help as much. Asia and Europe only really offset South America. So there we go. Dozy. Well, that's very decent of him. Alright, well, look, let's go with tear down this wall because, you know, it's fun. We'll start with realigning France. Perfect. Let's go with East Germany. Let's get nil-ops on India and hope for a big VP swing, which we get. If I say Africa, and then I coup, I can flip Africa to my domination, can't I? So let's say Africa, why not? Although I'm underprotected in Europe. It's got to be Europe. I've messed up. Europe retains domination. So let's take the coup in South America. And then we'll do the maths. So he goes for Middle East domination. So as things stand, he's gaining 8, 10, 16, 22, 22 the China card, so he's on 25. I get 13 back, so he's plus 12. Those are all overprotected, those are all overprotected. What does that do? He then gets 3, 5, 10, 14, 16, 17 to my 13 and wins by 4. That's rubbish. So yeah, it seems the prerequisites are remove South Africa, South America, and remove domination in the Middle East. So it's just a question of what else you can do. So he's plus 18 to my 13, yeah. Denying domination in Africa. 3, 6, 12, 13, 15. Oh no, and that, God. 3, 5, 8, 14, 16, 17, yeah, 4 again. So it looks like he has won, fair and square. Well done him. Would have won easily anyway with my gaff. But breaking South Africa control is a must. And then I can only remove domination in one place or the other, not both. Well, well done him. Let me know if you spot another gambit. I think that's it. 5, 7, 12, 16, 17, 19, 13, 5, 5. And that gives me a battleground. Does that make any difference? Probably not. 7 minus 3 is 4. 6 is 10 to me, so I'm up 8 before. 6, 9, 11, and 1 to him. Oh well. So let's go with that and wrap the game up. Let me know if you spot a better move. Well done, Janusz. And thanks for watching. Misclicks abound. Let me know if I could have swung that earlier on, because I was playing through rather hastily. Alright, thanks for watching, folks. Comment away.